Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I know. This video has been a long time coming. I should have been recorded this, but I just been procrastinating just because it's kind of a sensitive subject. And as you guys can see, I am in the car because this is like the only time I really just feel like I'm not around my kids or I'm not around anyone else to kind of like distract me from what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys today. Today is April 13th, 2022. And as you guys know, my last video that I posted was telling you guys that I was pregnant. I don't remember exactly when. I know it was over a month ago. Well, the reason why I haven't been making any videos because I did end up having a miscarriage on March 17th. Yep, March 17th is when I ended up having a miscarriage, and it was a very emotional time for me and my family. Sorry, y'all, son is just beaming back there. It was an emotional time for us, so I decided not to record right away as anybody else probably would if they had a miscarriage. But the whole pregnancy, I'm gonna put it down low. The whole pregnancy was a struggle itself. It's like soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I instantly started getting nauseous, having morning sickness like the next day as soon as I found out I was pregnant. Which is so weird. I don't know if it was just my mind. I know I usually do have morning sickness and everything when I'm pregnant, but it was like as soon as I found out, like the next day, I was like feeling nauseous. Pretty much what happened is the sac was there. The sac was there. The sac was growing. Every time I went, the sac was getting bigger, but there was never like the actual heartbeat detected. So I was almost 2 months. Every time I would go, the appointments would be kind of, we would always be on edge at the appointments, me and my husband, but we still, always try to keep good faith and just keep a good positive vibes. But like I said, I ended up having a miscarriage on March 17th. What's the bad light? March 17th, I ended up having the miscarriage, and then I went back to the doctor like a week or two later and found that the miscarriage was incomplete. So I had pretty much, if you had a miscarriage before, you know that you do bleed. I had already did that whole process of just the miscarriage process. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't know how I know this could be a trigger to some people, but I did go through the whole miscarriage process. But when I went to the doctor, the sac after I had the miscarriage, the sac was still there. Like it was broken into pieces pretty much on the ultrasound, but it was still there. And if you know anything about miscarriage, you know you cannot leave that stuff in your body. It'll set up an infection, pretty much it could kill you. So at that time, once we went there, and I had already went through my whole process of, it's a mental thing with a miscarriage, so I had already went through the mental part, and I pretty much was kind of numb about the situation just because I had already went through the miscarriage process. So for me to go back and see that the sac was still there was kind of very discouraging. So I ended up having to set up surgery to get the sac removed, which is called a DNC. They do DNCs for a lot of different reasons. A lot of the time it is for a miscarriage, and other times it is for, I don't know, any other process. I know some people, it's kind of the same process when people get an abortion, but it's not, you're not put to sleep. I was put to sleep. I was given anesthesia. And they did the DNC. That was like 2 weeks after I found out the sac was still there. I was given the option before doing this DNC because I was given the option to take pills to kind of flush it out. But in all actuality, I already know that will be, so he said I would have to take the pills every 4 hours it'd be 12 pills every 4 hours. To me, that's a lot to me. And from what I read and from what I hear from other people, it's very painful. So I chose not to do that option. So what I did was I did the DNC. I was pretty much scared the whole time, the whole process of the DNC, like me going to the hospital, me doing the labs, I had to do COVID tests. Everything was just so nerve-wracking. It was just so emotional. I gotta say the most emotional part was me discussing with my husband how to tell my kids. That was, to me, even after all the pain and everything, that was the worst part. Just letting my kids know. We all were excited to be having a baby. The kids were so excited. Like, we had to start discussing, like, if we was to have a girl or a boy, names. Like, it was just a whole thing. We was so excited. My kids are older. My son's 14. My daughter's 9. So we were just so excited. And it just, to me, it was like heart crushing for all of us. I feel like my husband took it the best. Not took it the best, but he had to be the strong person out of the whole situation. So he took it. I feel like he stayed strong the whole time. And my son did. But me and my daughter, man, it was rough. It was rough. Her dad, their dad decided to tell them because I just couldn't. I could not. I was going through enough pain and stuff. So he decided to tell them. And I'm thinking the way he did it was he picked them up from school and he pretty much told them what happened. And in my mind, I'm thinking, and I know he explains stuff very well because he explains stuff very well to the kids, and my son understood. My daughter, if she came home, she just was not. So from what I heard, because like I said, I wasn't in the car, she understood very well in the car. She was just upset and she was crying a little bit. But when she got home and she saw me, it was like more questions and more crying. And it just really was just heartbreaking for me. So, like I said, I did end up having the DNC 2 weeks after I found out that the sac was still there. And now it's been, when did I have the DNC? I don't remember the exact day I had the DNC, but now I am finally feeling like myself. I was still, even after having the miscarriage, I was still having pregnancy symptoms. So every morning I was still having morning sickness. This is after me finding out I had the miscarriage and going through the whole process of the miscarriage, the bleeding and everything. I was still having morning sickness every morning. I still wanted to eat stuff that I was craving before, pickles. I drank a lot of cranberry juice, just stuff that I was craving when I was pregnant. I still wanted that stuff 2 weeks after, a week or two after I had the miscarriage. And that's what really, like, you always go back to the doctor after you have a miscarriage, but I end up going back because the symptoms were still there. And to me, with having a miscarriage, like, you want to kind of go ahead and heal. I know it's not a overnight healing process, but the fact that I was still having morning sickness only made it worse to me. Like, I had already processed the miscarriage and everything, but me still having a morning sickness and having a hard time getting up in the morning and stuff, to me, that still made it like 10 times worse. It was like I was just still going through the process, which is, to me, it was just the worst part. But like I said, now I am much better. The only thing we could do is just go from here. We just never know what God has plans for our family, so we're just gonna live life every day and just move forward with the whole process. I'm glad that I'm definitely glad that I'm feeling better, because that was, I kept saying I can't wait to feel like myself again, and I am finally feeling like myself. My kids are feeling much better. Everybody's feeling better. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to attach This in the morning. I left home. But I am going to attach pictures of my ultrasound so you guys can see that the sac got bigger from first sonogram to the next sonogram. You can kind of see that the sac got bigger, but there was like no actual fetus and heartbeat detected. So I will attach those pictures later, and if I feel like I left anything out in this video, I will go back and add it back, or go back and add it at the end. But I just want to kind of update you guys on what's been going on with me and my family. I know I just left you guys on the fence as far as my last video, telling you guys I was pregnant and didn't post anymore for like a month and a half. I just had so many plans and I just felt crushed. So I just kind of let myself heal offline and kind of kept that stuff personal until I was able to tell you guys. So I hope you guys understand. So moving forward, I will be making, coming back and dropping more content. I just needed some time, as anybody would with having a loss like that. You just have to walk away and heal. Me and my family had to do that. So I can't wait to start dropping more content, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what was going on with me and my family. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and see you on the next video.